some guys. Luckily, I met a guy that I grew up with who happened to be there, and thank God that he, that he was there and helped me adjust and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He's dead now. He died of a heroin overdose down in Reading.
So you get out of there. You spend your 60 days there. You get out of there.
Well, then I was in the halfway house. I got a job then.
Okay.
I got a job.
And this is where now you realize you're out.
Oh,
It's
I'm out,
20 years later, and now you said you kind of fell into some other rough times as far as using drugs on the outside.
Well, that wasn't right away though.
Okay.
See, I was high on life at first.
Okay.
How so? Tell us.
Because
what
it was
you
just
know.
it was just exhilarating and everything was new and you know what I mean.
Sure.
So I ended up going to the halfway house. It was just right across the street, and there was this temp agency hiring for this chicken place out in Lancaster County. It's owned by some Mennonite people, and for $7.25 an hour. And I always had, I always liked to work. I always loved to work.
Sure.
So I went down there. They had a van load of us, 2 van loads that went down Lancaster County, which was like 20-some miles away, and I worked there, and then I ended up being a supervisor there. And then what happened to that? Oh, I got offered another job at John F. Martin's, which is they do all the smoked meat and stuff for Wise. Well, I got caught stealing there because you know why? Because when I worked in the kitchen, I used to take everything. I used to steal everything. I had guards that would unlock shit for me to get because they were cool with me, and it just I brought that out here on the street, and because I was taking stuff and I didn't think that it was wrong. You know what I mean?
So you brought prison life on the street.
I brought it out with me, yeah. The whole mentality out with me. And that was a great job. I was making great money. Everybody liked me. It was another Mennonite family. But they caught me on camera. Sure. They knew somebody was taking stuff. They didn't know who it was.
Sure.
And they caught me on camera.
Did you get arrested?
Yeah. Well, I got a ticket. The guy worked. He knew I was. It was just a little town, so he knew I was on parole. And he said, I'm going to call your parole officer, and if he says you've been doing good, I'm going to work with you. So he ended up giving me a summary offense for retail theft, and I went and seen the judge, a female magistrate. I guess she had my record there, and she says, "What are you doing? All these years that you had that life sentence and got out." You know, I mean, she didn't understand.
Sure.
You know, I didn't really understand either, but, and then, but I met this girl at the halfway house. I was 42, she was 26, and I was in the halfway house, and there's a funny story. I'm standing there in the kitchen of the halfway house, and this window opens up. This girl comes in and falls down on my feet. She was out, she snuck out and was drinking, and she called in the window at me standing there, and she fell down. I'm looking at her, you know what I mean? And then me and her became friends then, you know? I got her a job at my place. I got her moved all the way up to QA, and that's when I first started doing drugs out there. That was, I got out in 2007. 2010, I started. She was a heroin addict, but she was clean too. She was living with me. Right. We were 2 parolees living together, which was allowed down. And she moved in with me. I got her a job. We were doing great for a year or so, and then.
So 2010, you both started doing drugs.
Yep.
Heroin.
Yep. And it's nothing I've never done heroin before, but I wasn't doing it. I mean, I had a great job. I bought a brand new Harley. I had everything. And
how long were you doing? Did you do it?
I got busted in 2011. Went back to prison. I got busted at Reading for misdemeanor possession of 6 bags of heroin, and that was a fluke how that happened. You know, I was standing on the corner, I was at the laundromat on the corner, and I had my bag and my thing, and I had 6 bags in my pocket, and I guess something happened down the street. I seen the cop cars down the street. There was something, a robbery or burglary or something. Well, these cops were combing the area, and they came around up behind me, and they asked me for my ID. Here I had a couple outstanding parking tickets, and so they searched me and stuff and found the heroin, and I went to Berks County, and I ended up getting a 1 to 2 for that. then I violated my probation that I was on from the Ricky Wolf case. I got resentenced on that. 2 months to 10 years, and ended up being locked up again for like another 2.5, 3 years. Yeah.
So you didn't
So
get
I-
out till like 2015, would that be?
I was out. I got out. I got busted in 2011. Got out the end of 2.5 years. But I got out the end of 2013. I was in Somerset, way out west.
So end of 2013, you're out.
I'm out again.
And you've been out ever since.
Yeah, but I've been to a lot of rehabs and it's tough though.
You're still on parole, right?
Yeah, it sucks. I shouldn't even be on parole. You know what I mean? It sucks. I can't. You know what I mean? I mean, not that they're on my ass, but I shouldn't have to be. You know what I mean?
How long have you been clean?
Now this time, 4 months.
What do you do to stay? What do
Well,
you do to try to maintain?
I take the Vivitrol shot. You know what that is?
Yeah.
I take Vivitrol. I go to counseling.
What was it that you were doing? Heroin?
Plus, I'm on I take I got diagnosed with depression here a few years back, so I take Effexor for my depression too. And then sometimes I get off of it. I don't think I need it. That's when I start doing the heroin again.
Do you feel good about your counseling? You feel good about
I feel
being
real
on
good
Vivitrol?
right now, yeah, because I'm on the Vivitrol, so and it's a 30-day shot. So even if I do want to get high, I know I can't. You know what I mean? But I haven't. I feel the best now since I got out.
Do you
a
also?
lot of people used to mess with pot when they were kids.
That's all I ever
A lot of
did.
people did. Do you think you would have ever started abusing these hard ass
No.
drugs had you not gone through this?
Nope, pot was my thing. That was it. I was happy with a bag of weed in my pocket all the time, and I was happy with that.
So this whole situation ruined pretty
It
much.
ruined my life. Yeah. Yep.
What do you want the public to know? Like, it's been a long time
Well-
since that murder.
Well, as he was going to say that, let me just add to that with what he's saying. Because of now, all of a sudden, all the attention back on this, all the attention back on everything, does that also give you a sense of maybe there's a chance now with various investigators now looking into this to at least clear that? And would that be a huge burden off of
course
you?
it would. Yeah.
Would that be a huge burden off of you to lead into Eric saying, what do you want the public to know? And are you, I guess, hopeful or thankful to the police now who have been really open this up?
Let me see how I want to say this. Well, what I want to say is, this experience changed me, and if this stuff would have came out 15 years ago, my life would have been different. I should have been found not guilty at my trial, but I dealt with that. But a lot of shady stuff has been going on, and they were very, they hit it well, and so I'm most thankful to Scott
for staying there with you the whole time and being, yeah. And I guess the good news out of it for you would be that you learned to now no longer be afraid of any of the people, and so when these people are ready, you don't care now, basically, right?
No, I don't care. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I'm proud of myself for what I went through. It like made me stronger, and it did some damage, but it made me strong. You know what I mean? The little stuff never bothers me. I don't ever sweat the small stuff, because what I've been through. Anything else is small.
Do you have hate or resentment?
Oh, of course I do. I hate Hummel to death. I hate him, and I can't let go of it. I've been to counseling, and people, they tell me you have to let go, you have to let go. It's not an easy thing to let go of, because, you know, I thought me and Rob were friends, you know what I mean?